Hey, what's up? It's Comic95 the Savior, and for this video I will be giving you 20 of my personal favorite date sites or destinations. Keep in mind that this list is not in any particular order. It is not based on price range. It is not based on location. It is just general dates in Japan, which is why I don't give any names. I kept my points or whatever, my locations, very generic. These are places that can be found across all major cities, if not everywhere within Japan. This is my own personal opinion in places that I've been, things that I personally like, that I think you and your boyfriend will enjoy too. Do also keep in mind that I don't necessarily recommend some of these for a first date, but rather for dates after you've already gotten to know your boyfriend, you're in a serious relationship. I think these are things that most people can benefit from and or enjoy. Once again, the list is in no particular order and it is all my personal opinion. So let's get started. Number 1, going sightseeing or visiting a tourist destination. This can be really fun to pretty much act like tourists or foreigners together. For your boyfriend, he's probably never been to a lot of these places because he lives in the city, probably lived there his whole life, and or he might have moved from another city, but because he is Japanese, the thought of doing touristy foreigner things just never crossed his mind. So it can actually be a really fun experience for him to play tour guide to you, practice some English, and of course it's great for photo ops. It's a great experience for the two of you. Again, stuff he's never seen, never done, an opportunity for you to learn about Japanese culture and for him to practice some English, because of course you will naturally have questions for him that he will have to answer. So that'll be a lot of fun. Number 2, going on a road trip together. Now, again, this all depends on the person. I'm speaking from my own experience. I know some people don't like them, but road trips can actually be extremely fun. So whether your boyfriend has a car or not, a lot of working adults here do have a driver's license, and you might even have one yourself. Although I don't recommend you driving here if you don't feel comfortable, like I know I don't. And as a foreigner, especially if you're new to Japan, you should probably leave the driving for extended periods of time to your boyfriend. But if you feel comfortable, you guys can even take turns, taking over the wheel. However, back on subject, yeah, you can definitely go on a nice road trip together. It can be anywhere from a few hours to all day to all weekend. It's really fun to go to, I forgot what they call the little the pits on the side of the road stops, whatever. The places where you stop and get souvenirs and food, etc. They're really nice here in Japan, and they normally have really nice locations for taking photos there too. So they're not all boring pit stops, truck stops, whatever they call it. I forgot the name. Anyway, yeah, they're really fun here. They normally have really good food, really nice souvenir shops, and they have nice scenery. So it's next to the ocean or whatever, or they have Ferris wheels, etc. If you watch some of my more recent vlog videos, you will see that I've shown you the road trips that I went on with my boyfriend, and you can see what these places look like for us. It's a lot of fun to do, and again, it kind of gives you an opportunity to do something different. Your boyfriend probably hasn't had a lot of reasons to use his license, because if he works a normal job, he probably doesn't drive a car every day and seldom has a reason to do so. But now he does. He's on a date with a cute foreign girl, and now he has a reason to rent a car to go and impress you. So you can also try a car that you probably never get in real life. So whether you choose to rent a luxury car or get a truck or SUV, whatever the case might be, that can be fun. You don't even have to go really far. You can go literally 30 minutes away, an hour away. Just driving on the road gives you such a different experience versus taking a bus or taking any type of form of public transportation such as a train as well. Number 3, going to SPOCHA and or an arcade and doing an all-nighter. Now, you don't have to stay all night, but this is definitely the most fun way to do it. You can spend the night at, I forgot, Round 1 is the name of the place, where you can pretty much pay $20 to $30, and you have access to a ton of recreational sports where you can play together privately, as well as a limited arcade area where you can play games non-stop, where you don't have to pay, tokens each time. It can be a ton of fun, but if you don't have the money to do the all-nighter, it's still about the same price. I think it's a little less or a little cheaper, I forget, to do it during the daytime for a couple of hours. You can always add more time. I think it's a better deal to do it overnight, because SPOCHA not only includes recreational sports and arcade gaming, but you also get karaoke included without any extra fee. That is a great deal. They also have, concession stands. You can get, little snacks and drinks. so there's no reason for you to leave. And of course they have bathrooms and lockers for you as well. But to be totally honest, Japan is super safe, and while you should have a little bit of your guard up, I personally didn't use a locker. I literally just sat my stuff down on the bench and watched it, or I carried it with me. It didn't really get in the way of playing sports. So yeah, that's that. Number 4, having a luxury weekend getaway at a luxury hotel. So you might choose to go to a spa, have a nice bed and breakfast, whatever the case happens to be. Staying at a hotel can be really nice, really rewarding, and a ton of fun, especially if you're not the person to normally spend, you know, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for just 2 nights. So you do want to save for this, but it's definitely worth it. Being able to get room service and massages and just having that closeness with your partner, being able to cuddle and talk with them, is a ton of fun. Number 5, similar to number 3, having an all-nighter at a karaoke bar. You want to do this at a nice karaoke bar, not the ghetto local ones where it's only like 300 yen for an hour. No, you don't want that. I'm talking about the more expensive ones where they charge anywhere from like $20 to $30 an hour. Those nicer ones that offer, you know, the overnight packages. You can have some places even all you can eat, but all you can drink and all you can sing all night. There's nice bathrooms for you to use. You can adjust the lighting, the air. You can charge your phone devices. They offer chargers for you if you don't already have your own. It can be really, really fun. You'll get to the point where you've sung every song you thought you could sing, and then even more will come to mind. You'll find yourself scrolling through the history and playing the most, you know, played songs or most recent songs, whatever. So it can be a ton of fun. I literally get to the point where I like have no idea what to sing, and I have to like go through my phone, look at my playlist, or like search on the Billboard Top 100 and find songs. So it's super fun. You can find new Japanese songs from your partner that they never listen to but somehow know all the lyrics to, and vice versa. So a ton of fun, lots of learning. You can both take turns with you trying to sing Japanese songs and him trying to sing your English songs. It can be a lot of fun to do Disney songs, the Pokemon theme song, which every foreigner loves, and of course, as much as I don't like this anime, I have to admit, One Piece songs do make for good karaoke, you know, karaoke nights. So again, a lot of fun to spend the night, stay all night, and, you know, leave, wake up in the morning after going there. It's a lot of fun. Of course, you cannot really sleep at either of these places, SPOCHA or karaoke bar. They do have couches and whatnot, but they're not made for you to sleep. But again, it's nice to be able to get cozy with your partner. You can make out. You have a, you know, private booth. I do not recommend having sex. We ain't gonna go there, but back on subject. Yeah, be careful. Don't do anything illegal like sex. Yeah, be safe. It's fun. You'll enjoy yourself. Number 6, going to a themed restaurant. Themed restaurants can be a lot of fun. I've shared some videos of myself going to a themed restaurant here before. I highly suggest them, you know, going with your boyfriend. It's a lot of fun to go together. They have cute, nice themed dishes. It's really just a photo op. I'll be totally honest, as I've said in these videos too, the food tastes like trash. So when you see people, you know, bragging about, oh, look at this cute pink drink, or look, this is Inuyasha, I promise you, it's the worst food and drink you've ever had in your life. And it's also way overpriced, but people buy it because of what it looks like. It makes for nice pictures, and that's all you're there for. It's just for the experience, just to laugh, just to have a good time, just to try on costumes, just to look at the crazy waiters and waitresses. It's not for you to actually enjoy the meal. Number 7, spending the day at a shopping mall, specifically at a terminal train station. You don't normally think of train stations as a good place for a date, but in Japan, their terminal stations are huge, where they typically have entire shopping malls connected to them. For example, a station such as Osaka Umeda Station has basically like 2 or 3 malls combined, connected. You can literally spend an entire weekend there and still not see every store. There's way too much to see, way too much to do, way too many places to eat and drink at. It's a lot of fun, and depending on what part of the building you're in, it seems like you're inside of a totally different country almost. Even class-wise, you have, you know, the forgot what they call it, the Hankyu like grand building, etc. It's completely different from stores like Lucas. So keep all of that stuff in mind. It's really fun for you to do, whether you're there to go, you know, actually go shopping, or window shopping, or just to enjoy the ambience of being around, you know, so many people and seeing other people shop and other people go on dates. You have, you know, the mixture of lives meeting. You have the salarymen, and you have the teenagers, and you have the hosts, and it's just everyone all together. It's a lot of fun to look at. Number 8, you can plan a day or boat a day cruise or a boat cruise of some kind throughout the city. So these are normally like tour-like cruises, etc., but they're a ton of fun. You'll normally have a nice meal on board, of course, tons of photo, opportunities, etc. And again, it's something that you've probably never done and your partner would have never done, because them as a Japanese person, the idea of doing tourist things just doesn't cross your mind because you've always lived here. Most people here have never actually gone on a boat tour in their own city. Number 9, going to an American restaurant. So I think this one gets overlooked a lot, especially by foreigners, because for you think, oh, I want to impress him by eating his food, or I'm tired of American food, I want to try Japanese food. But honestly, we all get a little bit homesick and we miss the food from our home country. And also, you will find that the portions are way bigger, the atmosphere is way nicer, the place is way emptier, and it's a lot more fun, the whole atmosphere of the place. So I strongly suggest going to an American restaurant, someplace such as Outback Steakhouse, TGI Fridays, Hard Rock Cafe, any of the typical places that we go to as Americans, for a cheap date or whatever. It's actually really expensive here in Japan. It's like twice the price, but the food is really good and it's definitely worth it. I think that both you and your partner will have a lot of fun. And again, for your Japanese partner, this is a place that they either never heard of or have never been to. So the food is totally new for them. And you get to try Japan's take on American food because the menu is different. The food tastes are different, even for the items that are the same. When I say American restaurant, again, I'm not talking about McDonald's necessarily. That's not on the list of what I'm talking about. But even there, like, there's a lot of new menu items that McDonald's gets all the time that we will never have in the US that are actually pretty good. Like right now, they currently have like a Gohan double cheeseburger. So it's like a rice patty for the burger. And they have a spicy double cheeseburger, which is really, really good. And they even have like a ebi, a shrimp burger basically, which is also delicious, which we don't have in the US. Number 10, this is one of my personal favorites because I love to eat, and it is having a grill date. So it doesn't matter what type of food you're grilling, but generally it will be one of two. Either you will be having okonomiyaki or you'll be having yakiniku, which is basically a Japanese savory pancake or Japanese barbecue, aka Korean barbecue. Oh my god, both are so delicious. I personally prefer yakiniku because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I'm a meat lover, so obviously you get more meat going to a real barbecue place, but you also have the option of vegetables too. Whereas okonomiyaki is more like a pancake. It's more flour based with noodles, etc., but still equally delicious. Everyone has their own opinion. I suggest doing both, but it's a lot of fun for both of you to take turns flipping, grilling, frying food. You definitely get more bang for your buck at a yakiniku restaurant, in my opinion. Okonomiyaki is cheaper, but you have to pay, generally for each pancake that you get. Whereas with yakiniku, you can generally pay, buffet style, like $20, $30, and it's all you can eat for about an hour and 30 minutes or so. And it's fun to have the open flame, adjust the fire, drink, talk, etc. I feel like there's more fun with yakiniku, but again, both are definitely distinct experiences. They both deal with grills. They're both a ton of fun and delicious to eat. Number 11, having a castle or a park picnic date. So this is basically a hanami. You'll find this date to be most enjoyable during the springtime when the weather is not too hot, not too cold, and when, of course, you have the pretty pink and or white cherry blossom flowers to view. They have parks here that are next to lakes and or oceans, which make for great backdrops. You can see the boats in the background. Style your hair really cute, wear a nice little cute dress, and you can easily get a spot by the tree so that you're underneath it, have nice shade, perfect for taking pictures, etc. If you go outside of a major city such as Tokyo, where it's harder to pull this off, but even having something like a castle or whatever in the background, again, makes for great photos, great memories. You can spend the day there. You can, read a book together. You can do, a double date. You can have karaoke together. Whatever the case you want to do, like, people pretty much do everything during hanamis, but I personally think this is more enjoyable if you go either on a solo date or a double date versus how most people do it, which is having a big crowd group together of friends. So yeah, this is harder to pull off once again in Tokyo because there's way more people. It's hard to get a photo of, you that's actually next to the tree and not 50 feet away and 700 people in your background and no space to put down your blue tarp by a tree. So yeah, that's something to think about. So always look at the forecast ahead of time, but it's definitely really nice to just have a little outdoor picnic. You can make homemade rice balls, you know, whatever you want to do at home, tonkatsu, something simple, easy to carry inside of a bento box that can easily be eaten, or even something as simple as sandwiches and chips you can buy at the convenience store. You don't have to do a lot to prepare for this date, but of course that makes it really fun. And, you know, adds a nice little touch of home if you do choose to make your food at home and let your boyfriend try your delicious, you know, cooking, whether it be cooking from your home country, which I'm sure he would enjoy too, or your take on Japanese food. So again, number 11, castle or park picnic is a great date idea if you want to get outside. Number 12, having a movie and or video game night. This can be a lot of fun because you can kind of see what kind of movies or video games your partner likes and vice versa. You can also make it really fun by ordering a nice, you know, Pizza Hut or Domino's pizza and some drinks or, you know, wings or whatever to go together with your game night. It'll be a lot of fun, a lot of food, a lot of talking, a lot of laughter. It's something that you will definitely enjoy. Number 13, to kind of take a little twist on this, maybe for a rainy day as well, you can have a puzzle and board game night. So doing the same thing, you might choose to have pizza, popcorn, hot dogs, whatever, just like how you can for your game night. Your partner will really enjoy it, and while it might seem like a cliche, simple date, I promise you, your boyfriend, your Japanese boyfriend, has probably never had a game and video game night with his girlfriend, and has probably never done puzzles or played board games with his girlfriend before. He'll appreciate and love this about you. It'll be something unique and fun for the both of you. Number 14, visiting a gaijin or traveler's bar. Now, while I don't normally recommend these places for meeting serious people per se, these are definitely really fun places to go with your actual boyfriend. It's really fun for photo ops. They have great drinks. They're very nice. It's English friendly and Japanese friendly. The food is really good. My personal favorite gaijin bar, the most infamous one, is the British Hub, or as Japanese call it, Hub. I absolutely love this bar. They have the best food and best drinks in all of Japan. Like, I've been to so many different places and nobody compares to them, you guys. Somebody's gonna disagree, but I promise you, they have the best fish and chips. They have the best chicken. Their karaage is just absolutely delicious. And their pina coladas are great. Their, you know, peach cocktails. Every drink they have on their menu has just been delicious. I think even their beer has been the best. They also celebrate holidays, so things like St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, etc. They have like specialty holiday drinks to attract you. They have a pretty good balance between both foreign and Japanese customers, of course, mostly Japanese, but considering that this is Japan, generally if you go to these, you know, gaijin bars or travelers bars, whatever, you will get the most amount of foreigners in comparison to any other bar because they're aimed towards English speakers. So it can be a lot of fun for you guys to enjoy the atmosphere, try some foreign-based food, practice your English, etc. It's just a lot of fun, and you can even meet other couples, other people. You'll enjoy yourselves. And they always have, like, you know, sports channels, TV, or even retro video games for you to play. If you watch some of my older vlogs, you will see that I was playing on an SNES at a traveler's bar before. Number 15, having a date at a museum. So similar to going to a tourist destination, by going to a museum, you can learn a ton about Japanese history, and so will your boyfriend. There'll probably be a lot of things that he didn't know about that he can learn right along with you. Again, a good idea or a good time for him to practice his English, you to brush up on your Japanese, and for both of you to learn more about the country that you're both residing in. So it can be a ton of fun to, you know, both be able to spend the day together, so much things to look at, take pictures of, etc. And of course to get to know the country that you're living in much better too. Number 16, visiting an old-fashioned Japanese izakaya, aka bar. These bars normally don't have seating, and if they do, it's very uncomfortable. Stool-like seating where you're super close to everybody. Probably not the best time considering the timing of this video, but again, this is how it goes. These bars normally don't have doors even necessarily. They're kind of outdoor-like, or they're inside of a basement. So they're very old bars that have normally been around anywhere from like 60 to 100 plus years. And they normally have like a super simple set menu where they only sell like 5 or 6 different items. There's not a lot to choose from. There might not even be a physical menu, but like the menu is like on the wall or whatever, written in old-fashioned Japanese. So yeah, this can be super fun for you to try and experience for yourself, and you will probably really enjoy this. I highly suggest that you try this at least once. It isn't the most comfortable environment, and they don't necessarily have the best food, but their food is generally pretty good, and it's really nice and fun, and it's also kind of cool to be able to talk again to other and or older Japanese people that are there. You'll learn a lot. It feels like you're living in like old Japan or whatever. It doesn't feel like it belongs here, which it kind of doesn't, but you get my point. It's something fun for you as a foreigner. It's something that he probably doesn't normally, you know, do or go to himself. And again, it's a nice experience to have. You're going to a bar, but with a different twist. You're either having to stand, eat different food than what you're used to seeing on the menu. It's just totally different, a nice experience to have. Number 17, going to a dessert shop or cafe. So these cafes, dessert shops, they specifically specialize in having sweets. Generally speaking, in Japan, it's considered as gay for a guy to eat dessert by himself. I'm not kidding you guys. So normally a Japanese man will avoid going to places that sell sweets unless he's on a date with his girlfriend. Otherwise, he'll only like buy maybe like an ice cream cone or something from the convenience store, but he would not like go out to a shop that just sells cake. It's rare you see it, but most guys aren't okay with doing that. But what better excuse to do it than with a girlfriend? So yeah, these can be both fun for you and for him. And again, the food is really delicious to have and or try. You'll appreciate going. He'll appreciate having an excuse to eat dessert with you. And it can be really fun, especially if the dessert shop is themed. Just like how a themed restaurant can be, dessert shops can be as well. Number 18, going to an aquarium together. So I'm sorry you guys, I actually forgot to record this when I was initially filming the video. So I'm just going to do a little voiceover. Very similar to going to a museum together, Japan has some of the nicest aquariums here for you guys to go to, and you can easily spend the entire day there, or at least hours and hours of fun. They have lots of nice little places for you to eat at, and yeah, it's just really nice for both of you. So you'll find it really interesting because, of course, going to an aquarium, there's different kinds of fish and things like that, so you'll get to practice and learn new Japanese. And for your boyfriend, he can learn some new English terms. So for example, when you're looking at stuff, you'll find yourself saying stuff, you know, with the English name. Your boyfriend, even if he is fluent in English, it's very unlikely that he knows all of the different names of, you know, sea creatures, etc., you know, in English. So again, really fun learning experience for the two of you. And again, it's something that can be done all day. It's definitely worth the price. And pretty much every major city has, you know, at least one very big, nice aquarium like Tokyo and Osaka do. Number 19, go onto a conveyor belt sushi restaurant. These are the infamous sushi restaurants in which you see them literally have platters of random, you know, pieces of fish on the little conveyor belt where you can choose different types of sushi. These dates are pretty cheap. They only cost like $1 to $2 per plate, or I say $1 to $5 per plate. Depending on the place that you go to and the type of plate color that you choose. It can be a fun, cheap date, and of course, like grabbing the sushi, ordering special things in the little touchscreen menu is a lot of fun for the two of you, and it's an affordable date to have in which you can actually talk freely. Depending on the restaurant, you might be able to get a booth or you might have to sit at the counter, but either way it goes, it's really fun, and you still have that, you know, personal connection where you can like talk to each other, you're close to each other, and it's not like being on a date at a movie theater where you can't speak to each other because the movie is going on. And last but not least, number 20, attending a Japanese festival or an expo together. So whether you go to a festival that requires you or where you're encouraged to wear traditional Japanese clothing like a kimono or yukata, you will enjoy yourself, whether it's that kind or a more modern festival or expo in which people are wearing costumes such as like Halloween or even like, you know, a sake festival or sake expo, whatever you want to call it. They have different type of events that take place all over the city, whether it be at a train station or in a busy downtown area or even a suburban like area. They can be a ton of fun to go and see, a ton of fun, you know, to go shopping during these places and try new food on the street. There's just so much that you can do. It's a ton of fun and I highly suggest it. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching. These are my 20 tips or 20 recommendations for the best dates to go on here in Japan. Keep in mind, this is my own personal opinion. You might live here and have other date ideas that you personally like. Again, I know there's other things like going to the movies, etc., which is fun. But again, because you can't really talk, can't really, you know, do so much together, like libraries too are nice here, bookstores are nice, but again, you kind of don't have the ability to socialize, take pictures, do fun stuff together on these kind of dates. I've purposefully left them out. And I try to avoid giving specific names for places because there's so many places I can go on the list for things like tourist destinations and museums and aquariums, etc. But of course, for some places like, for example, SPOCHA, that's pretty much exclusive to round one, I did mention a specific place there. There are tons of fun things you can do together with your boyfriend. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of time. You can definitely make time for each other by doing even simple things at home, by having, you know, a mini picnic, cooking together, playing games together, watching a movie, just spending some time talking and cuddling with each other in bed. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any tips, comments, suggestions, anything that you would like to add, maybe a date spot that you prefer, please leave it in the comments down below. Otherwise, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can add me on Snapchat. And I would also appreciate it if you would like my Facebook page as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.